All right, what's going on, everybody? I thought that since I made a speech about it, that I would make a video showing you that cooking is more approachable than you might initially have thought. So today I'm gonna do a mock chipotle meal prep because that's during my speech what I kind of talked about. So I'm just gonna show you that it's pretty approachable and pretty easy. The only thing I did prep-wise is clean the chicken because I'm a chicken cleaner. That is how I grew up. I clean my chicken. I know there are two sides to that conversation, but I clean my chicken. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you know, that's what I do, so I did it. Other than that, a couple other things I did just because of the setup. I'm not confident in it, so if I had to bend over to get something, I just went ahead and got that. So I'm just gonna get started here. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to marinate my chicken. Now, chipotle, they like to use chipotle peppers, which I so happen to have gone to a local bodega, Rosie's Grocery, next to Zoni's, if any of you know, and picked up some dry chipotles. Now, you can get chipotles in adobo, or you can get dried chipotles. They're relatively cheap in the can, and almost all grocery stores have them. I know Whole Foods carries them. ShopRite carries them. I know Whole Foods even carries dried ones as well. But yeah, if you just look, you can find chipotle peppers. And right now what I'm doing is I'm taking the seeds out because I heard somewhere that the seeds can make it bitter once you grind it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the seeds out. Something else I'm going to do in about a second before I forget is get my oven on and ready to go on convection broil. You don't have to use convection broil. That's just, I like to get color on chicken thighs. They can take high heat, so that's the way I prefer to do it. So I have about, I'd say 5 pounds of meat going right now. So I'm gonna, do a couple chipotles here. These are just dried jalapenos. They're really not that spicy. But you can get a really spicy jalapeno sometimes. So, just kind of, if you like spice, go crazy. If you don't, you don't. Something that's nice about a rice bowl is the other things are pretty bland usually. So, it can balance out even if it's a little spicy. Now, I'm getting this chipotle ground up. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, explosion. I'm gonna get a little more. Other than the chipotle, I'm going to do a shallot. I would recommend whole garlic clove pureed, but unfortunately, some of my family members can't have garlic. So I am going to abstain from using it, which is unfortunate, but if you can, I highly recommend whole garlic cloves. I'll show you how I do that in a second here. This thing's chugging. All right. I'm okay with that. So I'm just gonna grab my knife here. I know I'm gonna need that lime thing as well. Gonna grab my scraper. One of these, highly recommend. They make life a hell of a lot easier. And I'm holding the camera here. Sorry if I'm blocking in. I forgot to grab the shallot out of the bag of groceries I had earlier. There it is. All right. I will also have a full price breakdown of everything I spent. Now, I went to Whole Foods, so some of the stuff I truly think you can get away with spending a little bit less money, but that's just where I was and who I'm cooking for. As well, they eat organic and stuff like that, so they, want me to buy organic when I do go and buy stuff. Now, one tip for any newer person to cook and anyone in general is one of these big right here, scrap bucket. Really nice to have next to your cutting board to just put your scraps in. Now, I was looking for this. This is a mortar and pestle. Not necessary. I have one. I'm going to use it. Everybody's kitchen is different. Everybody's ingredients are different. So just use what you have and adapt. You can also just blend instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mash this up into your puree and get that nice and going. Apologies for the banging. It is what it is. Now, you know, you can season this chicken any way you want. You don't have to do this. This is completely not necessary. You can season it however you kind of prefer. You don't have to use chipotles. You can use, like, oh, there's some chunks in there still. All right, I'm just going to dump it. Now, I cook and I season with my eyes. I don't use exact measurements usually. That's just the way I kind of do things and the way I suggest everyone do things. I think you should go by taste. You should learn how flavors combine. You should learn what works for you, because when somebody says, you know, add a teaspoon of this or a certain amount of that, you know, that might be what's best for them, not what's best for you, especially when you're kind of cooking like this. I think that it's kind of important to find your own groove and find what you like and what works for you. So I highly suggest that you just kind of figure it out and figure out what you like. Taste as you go. Tasting while you go is huge. Now, next thing I'm going to do is, I didn't do this off camera because I suggest that everybody do this. Everybody, if you can see what I'm doing here, this wide camera is crazy. I didn't even know this was a thing. Apologies for the little dirty of a kitchen. My mom's gonna kill me, but you know, for recording our dirty kitchen, but it is what it is. That's life. Kitchen's dirty sometimes. Wash your vegetables. Please, please, please wash your vegetables. Now I'm using this veggie wash right here because we have it. But a little dish soap and apple cider vinegar works great as well. But please, please, please wash your vegetables. Essential, essential, essential. Highly suggest that everyone do this. And I am doing this currently because I need one of these, this lime right here. And keep going here. All right, another thing, towel on your waistband, huge. Really, really can help. Just having that towel with you at all times is really, really nice. So, old school trick, roll, roll, roll. Gonna slice this and take this, and we are going to squeeze it in here. This is just to get it a little. It's kind of hard to spread as a paste, and it's very, very concentrated if you don't add a little bit of liquid to it. So that's kind of why I just add a little bit of lime here for it. So right here, you kind of have like a paste going, right? This is what you want. It's really, really strong. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add salt. And this is one of the things that I suggest, you know, keeping specific, because I have Redmond's real salt. This salt is very, very, very strong compared to like something like this kosher right here. This a little goes a long way for this. So I'm just gonna dump some on the spoon. Now this is 5 pounds of chicken. So I think that's about right. And you can always add salt. You can always add it, always, always. So I'm getting this paste rocking right now. See see, it's a nice paste. I'm gonna take the mortar back, kind of get these incorporated back in there. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Ooh, the eyes. Oh boy. Ooh, that's hitting me. What I'm gonna do is I have some paper towels. Just gonna grab them out of there. Wanted to get a little bit of moisture out. Now in the trash we go. And get in there. Get in there. You gotta get in. Don't see how it's like a nice paste. That's what you're kind of looking for here. Now again, highly recommend garlic instead of shallots. If you can have whole garlic like that, it's much. It's not much better, but it's really, really good. I remember the first time I had it like that, I was kind of shocked at how good it was. I was like, wow, this is crazy good. So right now I'm just getting it in. And with chicken, I'm sure a lot of you know, even if you don't cook, you know, you hear the longer it sits, the better it gets, you know. Let it marinate as long as possible. You know, that is true, but we're all not perfect, and it is what it is sometimes. So, but I have kind of the order of operations going, trying to do things at the same times. So if the longest I can get on this, I'm going to try. So I'm going to do this first because I know that letting it sit, the flavors will get better. So I'm just going to end up doing this first. So this is actually, I'm kind of going a little light on the seasoning here, in my personal opinion. It's got a nice color though. I would personally add more chipotle, but I am making this for my immediate family and my sister and her fiance. So, I do have a little niece, so it can't be too spicy. So I'm just keeping in mind of that. It's okay, it'll work, and perfect. So my hands are gonna be stained. It's phenomenal stuff. We love that so much. Wash up, raw chicken, wash up. Ooh, that's hot. Son, are we okay here? Thank you. Perfect. Now, next thing I'm gonna do here is actually, because surprisingly it takes one of the longest, which is fajita veggies, right? I like fajita veggies when I go to Chipotle. They always skimp me, but we won't talk about that. So what I'm going to do is actually where I was, Whole Foods, actually, they had 3-pepper blend, which is actually was cheaper than getting whole peppers today. So that was interesting. I'm going to just get my heat on. I know you see that in the pan. That's just stains. It is clean, I promise. Could I get in there a little more? Yeah, but, you know, it is what it is. They're going to deal with it. But I'm just going to grab my onion here. I'm just going to see how much this comes out to once I kind of get it going. Or get it chopped up, because I might do 1.5 onions. I don't know yet. We're going to kind of see here. Okay, get in there. Let's see. All right. I have no idea if you guys can see this right now, but sometimes I forget how good this knife is. You want these a little thicker, you know, or thinner, you know. It's all depending on what. If you like to bite into a big onion like me, then you want them a little thicker. But if you are like, onions are kind of gross and I don't want to do that, then, you know, don't. Cut them a little thinner. If you don't like fajita veggies at all, you don't have to make them. It's that easy. Now, I personally like onions a lot. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do a whole nother one. There. See, that scrap box is already filled up, all of it. But if I didn't have that, it'd be all around. And another thing I recommend is have a large cutting board. The larger, the better. The more space you have, the more you will be okay. But this right here is a knife from a knife shop in Strata, Portland. It was one of my gifts to myself, and they would murder me if I were to use my big plastic cutting board with this knife. They specifically told me, do not use this on a plastic cutting board. So this is the only one I have currently. So I do have to use that. Now, see how easy that was? All that scrap I just emptied out. My Instapot ring is not on. That needs to go on if I want to cook rice. Now, I'm going to cook rice in the Instant Pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, there are plenty of tutorials on YouTube how to cook rice in a pot. I've done it before. They would do it much better than I, but I know how the Instant Pot works, so I'm just going to use that today. Use what you have. Use what you have to your advantage. That's the whole part of it. And having those things that save you a little bit of time can be really, really nice. Okay, we're steaming a little bit. Forgot to wipe that off. So you have this going, this going. My fajita veggies are already over here. Perfect. I'm gonna open these up. 2 bags. This is 2 pounds right here. So, yeah, we'll see how that comes out. So right now, I'm looking at this for my rice. I might have the other one that's a little bit better. Yep, that's right here. I'll use this one instead. Man, I'm dangling here. That's crazy. This thing's wild. For real. All right, I think I'm going to do 2 cups of rice today. Make what you want. Make more, make less, Do you. 2 cups of rice. Just a little extra for the, fun of it. All right, now, crucial step. Gotta wash this rice. Gotta wash the rice. You do not want to not wash your rice because you want to get some of that starch off, because you'll see that the water will turn very, very murky. You want to give it a nice rinse here. Now, I actually cannot eat rice currently, so it's been a while since I've cooked rice, I won't lie. But we're going to see how it goes. I think I remember the settings and everything on the Instant Pot, so it should be all right. I'll find out very quickly, though, if it's not all right, But yeah, can't have rice currently. That's why majority of this meal is going to be for my other family members, because part of the whole reason why I like bowls like this is the rice. That's a huge part of it for me. See how cloudy that water is, right? That's why we're washing this rice. We're getting that starch off. Right here. Nice. Dump that. Do it again. Right here, I'm just gonna let that actually fill up. I'm gonna walk over here. I'm gonna get these in. Now, I don't want to decrease the temperature of the pan too much, so I'm only gonna do 1 bag right now. I'm gonna go for my onions here. Scraper. Perfect. Gonna get a lid on that. Good stuff. See this, how clear this is now? Good. Now I'm gonna let it soak for a moment. And I'm going to get all of my stuff out for the rice. Now you're saying stuff out, what do you mean? I mean this right here. So chicken stock, or there it is. I'm tilted. Ah, come on now. Bone broth. Easy way to up the nutritional value of your rice. Add a little bit of beef broth to it. It's gonna really help the flavor too. It's gonna give it a nice flavor. So one easy thing you can do to kind of just increase the nutritional value a little bit. One of the perks of cooking it yourself, you can manipulate the nutrition of this meal to fit what you're currently looking for, which is really nice to have that control in a lot of aspects, whether it's you have specific goals or, you know, dietary restrictions, or and that can be even as deep as sodium. You can't digest fat very well. You don't like you're lactose intolerant, but you like that dairy substitute that you have at home, so you have to bring it home anyways. Now this is proving to be a pain to get open. That's unbelievable. Thank you. Now this right here is Goya adobo. This is a kind of like it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a like Lori. It's like a seasoning salt. It's very good. Relatively clean ingredients: salt, garlic, tricalcium phosphate. It's an anti-caking agent. Black pepper, oregano, turmeric. This has a lot of salt in it. Be careful, but it's very good. I use it all the time. That's another secret to just like up the flavor a little bit. Just use that or one of your favorite seasoning salts that you have. So I'm just gonna give these a nice, smells good. We're going now. Now what I'm actually gonna do is I'm going to add a little bit of adobo to this. Just sprinkle it over the top. Taste everything as you go. To kind of figure out if what you're adding is enough, needs more. So we're going to get that back covered up. Now that's going to wilt down. I know that looks like a lot. It's going to wilt down significantly to where I probably will need to add a portion of the other bag. Next thing I'm going to do is my rice has been sitting. So now I'm going to dump that out. We're going to get that in. And then give that another quick rinse. Shake. Drop. And we're going to get that in. Now, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, liquid to rice. So I'm going to take 1 cup of bone broth. Dump that in. Nice. And then I just filled up a thing of water. If I could recall where I put it, it would be right here. All right, now that's good. Let me get my... See, it's been so long, I don't even know where my rice spoon is. That's unbelievable. That's so unfortunate. I have no idea where it is. Interesting. I'll just use a fork. That's okay. Now, I'm going to just add a little bit of salt in there. You can always add more, and I'm going to add more at the end, but I'm going to do about that. A little more. A little more. And that'll be good. Set it up. And vent. All right, get in there, thank you. I believe, if I remember this setting correctly, it is... Come on now. I think it's 5 minutes. We're just gonna start that, get that going. Perfect. Now, corn. I don't know how to cook this. 1 cup boiling, 5 to 6 minutes until tender. Okay. Easy enough. Easy enough. Easy enough. Easy enough. I will sweep when I am done. Don't you worry about it. Let's see. Nice. Now, I need to get my cast iron out of here. Okay. We're just gonna go put this on the table. I'll worry about it later. Alright, get that going. Nice. Now, I think I'm going to get the first batch of chicken in. So I'm just going to take it. Oh, almost forgot. Gotta spray the tray. Oh, shit. Oops, tilted on me. All right. Chicken on. Chicken on. Chicken on. Now, you don't have to use a rack like this. I just am, because I'm trying to get a nice color on it. But you could just go directly on the tray, and that might even be able to fit it all to where I wouldn't have to do multiple batches. So do whatever works for your time constraints. You don't have to do nothing forcefully just because, oh, you have to do it this way, because why? I don't know. Somebody said so. You don't always have to go the extra mile. Everybody's time constraints are different. Everybody's living a different life. Do what works for you. Do what works for you. Okay, I'm gonna get this in. Hopefully this camera doesn't go bonk wild on me. I'm gonna try and hit a nice squat. All right, there's something at the bottom of the oven, so it just hit me with a wad of smoke. Unbelievable. Woo! That'll fucking wake you up. So we got this going. So you get a lot of water in the bottom from the frozen peppers. So I am going to actually semi-cover it here for a moment. Just kind of tilt it, let some of that water evaporate here. Take this real quick. Do this. All right, now I'm going to finish washing these vegetables. Come on, get on it. And then soaking. right. Oh man, escaping me. All right. Now, let's get a towel. Get these dried off right here. Now, I'm going to make the pico, I believe, here. Got 6 right here, 6 tomatoes. Let's go 8. Let's see. My whole family really likes pico, so I'm gonna make a decent bit here. I just have a bowl there ready to go. The water is almost boiling, so let me grab the corn actually. Perfect. Right here, grab the tomato, grab the jalapeno. And the one thing about chicken thighs is you notice I didn't set a timer for the chicken thighs because I like chicken thighs because they're very visually telling. So they're great for a beginner because just through visuals, they'll kind of let you know that they're done, which is really, really nice. Instead of like chicken breast that can, overcook very, very, very quickly. I keep forgetting this. But it can overcook very quickly. So it's really nice to use chicken thighs in the beginning to kind of, have that visual tell to where you don't need to set a timer or anything. And especially with the timing thing is every piece of chicken is a different size. So even the time is a rough gauge, but it's not gonna be exactly right. So you kind of want to learn what feels like done, what looks like done, and that'll just help you way, way more in the long run. Now, also with like chicken breast and stuff, don't be afraid to cut it. Like, don't be afraid to dice it up a little bit, to where it's in more manageable pieces, and those small pieces will kind of give you that tell that, oh, it's done. Especially that's what I did when I started is I would cut my protein very, very small, so I would be able to visually see when it's done and not have to per se worry about if it was undercooked or not, because as you can see right here, where is it? Right here, this battle scar. It's Mother's Day. Was cooking pork chops. Got oil, splattered it on my hand. Not a fun experience, but yeah, don't be afraid to cut it up so you don't have to. If you're not confident, I hear that from a lot of my friends, like, how do I know when it's done? Like, I don't want to eat raw chicken or raw whatever. First of all, that's not going to kill you. If you take a bite of something that's you can spit it. I know it's like gross or whatever. Like, just calm down though, spit it out, or like take a bite of something. Oh, that's not cooked. Put it back on the heat. It's fine. It'll be all right. You've been through a lot more, I'll tell you that. So this water's boiling. I'm going to dump the corn in. Alright. Perfect. How are these looking? Still a lot of moisture in there, a lot of moisture. I'm gonna uncover that even more. Let's see. Okay, that is blasting me. Ugh. Alright, looking good, looking good. Can go a little more. This Instant Pot is going. Perfect. Locked it up. Always gotta stare at the Instant Pot while it's sealing. It's just tradition. Gotta make sure it doesn't explode. Now, I'm trying to get roughly the same size pieces on these tomatoes, but I'm going to be honest, I really don't care. I'm just trying to get like a small-ish dice on it, and that's good enough for me. So if you want to go about it and get the exact same size pieces and go crazy about it, and by all means go for it, do you. But me, no, I'm all right. I'm good. It's not that deep. Now, my goal for this is 45 minutes. That's my goal. This is about 5 pounds of chicken, which to me, protein is the base of my meal. So that's what I go off of. If it's not, if your base of your meals is rice, you know, it's 2 cups of rice. But for me, it's protein. So 5 pounds of protein for me, that's probably 6 days, maybe 5, 6. I eat about a pound of meat a day, which for some of you might have just been like, what did he just say, a pound? Yeah, that's about what I eat a day. So, but you know, if you don't eat a lot of meat, or meat, like when I go to Chipotle, I get double meat. So my bowl is $20. If you don't eat double meat, or you don't like to eat as much meat, then, you know, this is going to last you a lot longer than me. Now, you know, this is why everyone's different. This is why cooking, I think, is learning how in some form or fashion is so crucial, because you're able to cater to yourself and what you like and what you need, not what others. Well, so I might only do 1 more. I don't know if I'm going to do 2 more tomatoes. That seems like a lot right now. Looking over at my corn, making sure everything is happening the way that it works. And don't be afraid to do multiple things at once. As you see, I'm doing multiple things at once, because you want to be efficient with your time. You don't have to do things one at a time. And you can always turn the heat off. You can always, you know, if it's not working the way you want, then just turn it off. Come back to it. Reassess, figure out what's going wrong, and come back to it. So right now we got the tomatoes going. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to throw a little salt on those bad boys. And we're going to... Just a light sprinkle. Now, I know some of you right now, like my sister, man, how much do you put? I don't know how much I put in there. I just do it by feel. You do it by taste with this. This is a cold preparation, which is one of the things that's really easy for a beginner, because you can taste it as you're doing it. So you don't have to, like, it's not raw or anything. You don't have to be afraid about trying it. You can do it as you go, which is super nice. And salt also intensifies as it sits. So, you know, let it sit for a little bit. Come back to it. Okay, is it still not enough salt? All right. You know, I added too much salt. Don't panic. You got another tomato, you add more onions, bulk it out, you know. I'm going to try and get a smaller dice in these onions, because I like cooked onions, but raw onions biting into a big chunk is not often the greatest experience in life. You know, for yourself and the people around you, is not a fantastic experience. So we got about a half onion in there. We're doing the whole thing, that's for sure here. I'm gonna check my chicken here in a second. Don't you worry about it. I didn't forget it. I do need an oven mitt, though. That's for sure. It's not a good sight to burn yourself, and it's not a good sight to have these onions go over your fingers to where you can't see and you have to cut by feel. But we do what we do. It's all right. We're working with it. That's a hefty bit of onion right there. That'll get your breath rocking, son. It's rocking. All right. Let's see. Grabbing an oven mitt. Sorry, you're being flung around right now. My apologies. The smoke. Oh my goodness. That's unbelievable. Now I'm just gonna touch. I don't think that's quite. I think they need another moment, and they'll be all done. Let's check these fajita peps. Nice. I'm gonna create a little kind of pocket in there to kind of let that water come up and evaporate out for a moment. Gonna turn the heat up a little bit on there too. Expedite that process. So now we got the onions for the mild pico, whatever you want to call it. Again, it's a visual thing, you know. That's it. I visually can see. Okay, we got a good amount of tomato in there. Onions all throughout. Looks good to me. So what I'm actually gonna do here is grab my cilantro. And I'm going to, come on now. Hello. Hello. Quick rinse. Grab 2 limes here. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Buck wild. And what I'm gonna do here is bunch it up. Get it in a nice top ball. Actually gonna grab a paper towel that's a little wet here. I don't prefer my pico watery. And get some of that moisture out of there. Perfect. I'm actually gonna tear off that whole entire head because I'm gonna just use this whole thing. Corn's going, I hear it boiling. So I'm just gonna grab tight ball, roll it around. I'm gonna twist it. Same thing. Perfect. Put it in there. Gonna mix that around. Nice. Nice. Now I can already tell that's gonna need more salt. Just gonna add more salt. And grab a lime here. 1 lime or 1/2 of a lime. Now again, you do what you like with pico, right? My family, myself, we're big acid people. We like our acid. So I'm gonna do 2 limes in here. Now, always taste as you go. If you don't think, oh, I think that'll be too acidic for me, don't do 2 limes. Do 1. Taste it. Taste it before you add. You're gonna get that mix, and that's pico. Oh, wrong one. Corn should be done here momentarily. I think this chicken is done. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's done. Nice color, good color. We like that. Oh, come on now. This is also going to continue cooking while sitting. It's steaming hot. We're going to sit on top of each other and continue cooking. And again, if it's not cooked, you can always keep cooking. I'm someone who would rather something be undercooked than overcooked. So you might not be like that. You might like to, blitz your chicken until you know it's good. Do what you want. I ain't judging. And I'm gonna re-rack up here. Now my sleeve is not in the greatest position for this. Not a phenomenal experience in my opinion. Very nice. Gonna do a little maneuver and open the oven with my foot. Get that in there. Because I have one down hand right now. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm fairly confident the corn is cooked. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it over yonder. Not worried about getting chicken juice on the handle, it's okay. I'm going to strain that. Alright, get in there. And then I am going to just set that right there. I'm going to wash my hand now. Perfect. Now, this fajita veg. Yeah, we're losing some of that water here. I know it don't look like it, but we're losing some of that water. Don't you worry about it. And that honestly is about done. And I don't think I'm gonna add a little bit more of the peppers, but I'm gonna add a little bit more adobo. And I'm gonna add a couple more peppers. Try and get the water off by draining it off a little bit in the bag first. And that's good right there. Alright. Perfect. Perfect. Get this going. Get these out of here. I forgot to do this. That's what I was forgetting. And get that in there. Nicely done. Like the corn smells good. Let me just try it with my finger. Yeah, that's cooked. Sweet. Trust your eyes sometimes. Just trust yourself sometimes. You got it. You gotta trust yourself. Now, my rice is at 7. The way the Instant Pot works is it will naturally release its pressure at about 10 minutes. That's when I'm going to want to go and fluff it and put my lime and cilantro in there, because everyone says, oh, I love the lime cilantro rice at Chipotle. It's okay. I got you. It's not that hard. Now again, I'm a big spice guy. I like spice, but others don't like spice, so going to have to go a little light on the jalapenos. Get in there. Beautiful. Trying to clean up the space a little bit. Even though you're probably like, clean up the space, what the hell is he talking about? That's dirtier than a mother. Alright, the pica is good now. Good to go. Nice. I'm just gonna let that sit. The longer it sits, the salt gets in there, flavors combine, it gets better. Let it sit, let it do its thing. Ain't no rush to it. Now, one other thing about this scraper that's phenomenal is the ability to clean off counter spaces. It is great. Now you're like, oh, he's gonna scrape up food with it. After he did this, I cleaned the counter before. Chillax with it. Chillax. We're A-okay. We're A-okay. Don't you worry about it. All right, nice. Now we do the corn. Or actually, I'm gonna get my... Oh boy. All right, cilantro's coming out like crazy. We're actually going to get the rest of our cilantro out for the corn and the rice. Get that bucket out of there. Clear up that space a little bit. Again, shake, 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 shake. Getting water everywhere, everywhere. It's all right, it's all right. Now again, I'm going to use this whole stalk, so I'm just gonna rip it off. Perfect. Perfect. And a little wet again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Rice is about there. Gotta hurry it up. Nice. Do that. Then we're gonna get a nice... nice head of cilantro here. Nice. And again, if you have the genetic snip where cilantro tastes like soap, don't add it. It's okay. But yeah, that's probably another thing for those of you who have that. Probably can't even eat chipotle. Because they put cilantro in so much of their stuff. And I'm gonna take this over here. I know that, you know, tendency-wise, a little salt in the rice after it's done. So we're gonna do that. But, so it's at 12. And I can open the lid now. Steam crazy. Looks good. So I'm just gonna fluff it. Fluff it, get that going. And throw in a little bit of salt in there. That's a lot of salt. And we're gonna get 2 limes. Get that in there. And then fluff that around. That's burning me, that hurts. Trying to get you guys in there. And oh, a nice hefty pinch of cilantro. A little more than that. And Chipotle's rice, I'm telling you, it's that easy. They really don't do enough special. So that's the rice. This rice is done. So I'm gonna let that sit here. Let's check this chicken. Oh my, I'm getting blasted by that. That needs probably another like 30 seconds. That's all right. Let's see. Now, I'm a big proponent of not putting hot things in plastic. So how's that corn? It's warm still for me to put it in plastic. So I'm gonna wait a second on that. But I'm going to actually throw all of this in here. And I believe, if memory serves me correct, that Chipotle actually uses red onion for the corn. If not, I'm wrong, but I think they do. I don't know, but I like red onion. It gives a little contrast to all the white onion I've used. So, you know, a little change of flavor, never hurt nobody. another quarter. Now you can change the preparation style any way you want. One thing I like to do, I can't have rice right now, so I tend to do a potato base with all my meals. So you can switch to potatoes, you can switch to seasoning, you can do whatever you want. But this, like I said in the beginning, is just a great kind of beginner one, I think, to kind of get people in the kitchen. And it's something they're familiar with, chipotle. And once they realize that they can make it at home and better and actually get the portions they want, because boy, oh boy, let me tell you something. Chipotle in their portions sometimes, man, has me wanting to bash my head against a wall. And they stare you in the face while they do it, which makes it even worse. They know what they're doing to you, and it's unbelievable. Again, it's like disrespectful. They like laugh in your face, like, haha. Oh, you want double chicken? Oh, okay. Let me give you another quarter of a scoop. It makes me really upset, to be honest with you. But that's why I took matters into my own hands. You know, I'll let them have their chipotle, and I'll do it myself, like I'm doing right now. I'll do it myself. We only got a couple more. Now those are gonna prove tough too. I'm just gonna hope they don't slide through the cracks. It's all right. It is what it is. It is what it is. Again, my foot open technique and chicken in. Perfect. Dump this. I'll take care of everything else off camera. Don't want to bore you. The corn, I think, is cooled down enough to where I'm okay with it. You get another spoon here. Actually, I'll just use the Pico spoon because, to be honest, it's not that deep. Really not that deep. Dump that in there. And so right here I have queso fresco from the same place I got the tomatoes, Rosie's, right next to Zoni's Pizza, if you're interested. They have a refrigerator with authentic Mexican cheeses, so I like to go there and get it, but you can get queso fresco anywhere. Whole Foods, ShopRite, but I just like to support small, so this is where I go get it, and it's really good too. So highly suggest if you're ever in the area. So that's a hefty bit. I'll probably take like that chunk right there. Just, manhandle it a little bit. They're all my immediate family, don't worry, and you just saw me wash my hands. So really don't worry about it. I'm just gonna do a little bit more. Let me wash my hands again real quick. I don't even know what time it is. My goal was 45 minutes with this. Not sure if I have reached that or not. I think I'm running on about an hour right now. I did have to record though. Give me a little slack there. But get this out of the way. Other than that, almost here. I'm about done, to be honest with you. Oh, I do need a little bit of lime for the corn. Forgot about that. A little bit of lime. A little bit of lime, a little bit of lime, a little bit of lime, a little bit of lime. That was smoking. That's interesting. I've never seen that. 2 limes. And nice. corn salsa. Oh yeah, that's there. That smells good too. Holy shit. All right, both of these done right here. Rice, pico, corn, chicken, fajita veggies on the thing. You know, when you're at home, you can just come over and grab them with tongs. So right there, our last batch of chicken is almost done. And like I said, to be honest with you, I did 2 batches. You could cut down the time probably like 10 minutes if you just did the 1 batch, you know? There are always ways you can kind of cut corners and do what works for you. You know, some people have more time, some people have less time. Everybody's situation is a little different. And not only everyone's situation is different from other people's, everyone's current situation is different. They have more time in a certain place they're at in life right now than they did previously, or things change, and you just gotta kind of adapt. This is for my dinner. Kind of adapt, but learning now and learning while you're ahead can really help you just kind of get the experience under your belt, to where when you're in that situation in life where you don't have as much time, you're able to kind of know what you need to do when you need to do it, and adapt to the current situation. Like when I was working at the winery, I was working 6 days a week, 10 to 15 hour days. And as someone who takes health into extreme consideration, as well as having a lot of health difficulties and challenges when it comes to health, I have a lot of dietary restrictions. I couldn't always eat what was brought to work, so I had to, spend my Sundays, my day off. I had to make sure I did a meal prep for the week. But, if I was tired, I brought the crock pot out, I took the hour, to me, I understand that sometimes you don't want to give cooking your hour on that off day, but I promise you during the week, it'll be worth it, right? It will be worth it. Your body will thank you, for just being prepared, and, that ease of like, okay, I know, for me at least, it was worth not having that anxiety of like, oh, what am I going to eat? Are they going to bring food that I can't have? Having to worry about that. It was really worth just kind of like, even though I had to spend that time after I was exhausted, I'm prepared and I have that fuel for me, because, eating is something you do multiple times a day unless you fast, but for most it's something you do every day. And even if you fast right now, there might be a point in your life where that changes. I fasted for a while, now I don't. Everyone's always constantly changing, and it's always nice to just kind of be ready and prepared to handle that change when you need to. Now let me check this chicken and get blitzed in my face again. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Can you not do that? I think that needs another moment or two. But like I was saying with chicken thighs, really nice to have that, that meat that you can tell a lot visually when it's done, instead of like chicken breasts where you're just constantly guessing. And like I said, if you want to use chicken breast, or that's what you have on hand, you can always cut it up into little tiny bite-sized cubes and do it on the stove top instead of the oven, which is nice. And you can use whatever meat you want. If you have ground beef, you want to use ground beef. You honestly like Taco Bell style, like you wish Chipotle had a ground beef option, do that. This is another thing. Not only can you cook things at the same time, but you can keep your space clean as you go. Another huge kind of thing. Clean while you go, clean while you go. You don't want to end cooking, you're tired, and then you have this whole mess built up, and now you got to go clean it all. You know, oh boy. Or like you saw with the sheet tray, line the bottom with aluminum foil. Save yourself later. You don't have to suffer. You know, if you want to use a little bit of aluminum foil to help your cleanup process, then do that. You know, I think this chicken should be done here in a moment. In a momento. Beautiful. Oh yeah. No, a little longer. Little bit. Let's see. I said I wasn't gonna bend over and do stuff like this, but I'm doing it anyways. I'm breaking my own rules. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm going to transfer these. I'm really not doing a good job of this. This is unbelievable. I'm trying to avoid all that moisture, but it's happening anyways. Fajita veg. I can always drain that out a little bit. Fajita veg right here. And then, you know, you have your, let's see, where is it? You have your, I got these today, these ugly greens at Whole Foods. It's like kind of like romaine, so you can just tear it up if you want lettuce. If you don't want lettuce, I have cheese in my fridge. I am another health hack, like similar to the bone broth. I prefer, you know, I prefer Greek yogurt, non-fat, instead of sour cream, so I'm going to use that, but do what works for you. If you like your sour cream, have your sour cream. Marron. Oh, my face. Where are my tongs, yo? All right. There they are. Yeah. Okay. Why are you sticking? Alright. I'll fight for those morsels later. Well, I'll fight for them now. My oven mitt was not doing a great job at protecting my hand there. So it's burning a little bit. I won't lie, but I'll grab this later. That's about it. And I got it on the counter. Unbelievable. That's it though. Simple. And this is, you know, depending on who you are, quite a bit of food. You know, this will last you like a good week here. And I did that in probably a little over an hour. Probably could have gone faster. You know, I blame you guys for being on my chest, but you know, it is what it is. And then you can always add or do different things you want. If you're a guac person, you know, I could have made guac during waiting for that last batch of chicken. Guac is another one of those really, really easy things. But the one thing about meal prepping guac is, unfortunately, that with guac, it oxidizes when it's sitting, so it'll get brown. So one thing I recommend is there's this brand, it's called Holy Guacamole, or in Costco, I know they have their brand of little individual serving cups of guacamole. I highly recommend that if you want guac. Just to bring those one of those with you is really, really simple. So going over the price of what I paid today for all this food, this was probably about $65, which I think you can get it to 50 to 65, depending on where you buy your food and what kind of food you buy. Not to harp on any specific sort of way, but Just where I was today, Whole Foods, like I was saying, the people I'm cooking for, you know, they eat organic. They want me to buy organic, so that's what I did. So the meat is going to be more expensive. The vegetables are going to be more expensive. You know, you do what kind of situation you're in or what you personally value. For me personally, when I was, you know, living alone, it was different. There are certain things that I will always buy the highest quality I can. For example, specifically for me, meat, I always buy the best meat I possibly can. But there are certain vegetables, certain other things, right? I won't buy organic. I'll just buy the store brand. So kind of balancing that, doing what works for you, and kind of just figuring it out. Now, if any of you have any more questions or want to pick my brain, I'm here. Feel free to ask. I don't really mind. But yeah, hope you guys, you know, hopefully this made this a little more approachable for you, and hopefully you'll give it a shot.